Well, first thing I gotta say, guys, is my hats goes off to this group of seniors. They've been battle tested. I think when we started the season, we lost so much last year. There's no way we get back to this game. And each week they grind, and we had a couple of tough games along the way that got us prepared for this type of game. But I tell you what, for the most part, they bought into what the coaches was coaching them week in and week out. And what a way to finish. Take my hats off to Vance, but it's almost like I'm speechless after winning a game like that. It's such a hard-fought game. But once again, just proud of my guys and my coaching staff for getting back to this point and finishing.
What adjustments or what did you do differently in the second half to kind of hold it to 11 yards in the second half?
I think we got comfortable with what we was trying to do with the blitzes, trying to get the guys in the right spots. Once they was there, we just sort of started doing the same thing, and the guys started picking up on some reads and playing a little tougher. I thought the defense was real gutsy, real gritty. After that first play, even going back to we giving up that big play in the first quarter. But we didn't change a whole lot. I think we just got the kids where they was comfortable that they could just go out and play.
It looked like their offensive game plan was to kind of limit the impact that your defensive line could have. They did a lot of outside runs, a lot of quick hits on routes. Your defensive line was still able to adjust after giving up a couple big plays early. They made a big difference, getting a lot of sacks, a lot of pressure on the quarterback. What does it say about that group that they were able to be so successful even when they were being game planned against?
Well, we saw on film that the way they moved the tight end, where the tight end was over with the doubles, that if they ran back to the weak side, if we didn't have some speed on that backside from the linebacker position, that they could hurt us. And that first play did work just like we thought it would. And we told that linebacker that we had over there that it's coming. You just got to make the play, because a couple of times in practice, in those 2 days of practice, let me add, we got outside of that linebacker. And then we made, that's some of the adjustments, I talked about we made to get the personnel in the right spot. And that kind of helped us throughout the game.
Coach, the win streak goes into next year. Did this game just feel so much different than other games you've had? This has to be one of the craziest one of the 45 that you've had to win in this fashion. What about this game just felt different to you, and so many unique things like them scoring 20-something seconds in and being shut out the rest of the way, things like that kind of make this one unique?
Well, there was a lot of things that was different. Friday night, we've never played the championship on a Friday night. The weather, we was predicting a lot of rain. Hats off to Duke University. The facilities, the field is great. That gave our guys a little more confidence to come out and play in the rain, whatever rain we got. But as far as the difference in the game, man, you go back to last year, that game went down to the fourth quarter, and then with 5 minutes left. So it was tense, but our kids hung in there. I think with our guys giving up the score early and then playing great defense throughout and getting them backed up, and I think I told a reporter this outside, when we came on the field after the blocked field goal, our guys was kind of dragging. And I heard one of my coaches say in the background, just go get a safety. And then we started yelling, get a safety. And we started saying this to the defense, and they said, yeah, the ball is right there. And they went out there and they gave them a little more energy, and we was fortunate enough to do it.
Either of the players, can you guys kind of speak to the weird last couple minutes there? They snap it into their own thigh. Then you had a field goal, and then you have to come back out right after and get a game-winning safety of all things in the last couple of seconds. What was that roller coaster like for either one of you?
Well, we just knew it was coming because when it's short yardage, we know it. We was watching film and we know what plays they run, so we was just prepared for it.
Mateo, you kind of was telling me in the elevator what kind of happened on that play because you was on the field and it came to your side. Kind of share with them what you saw and what happened.
Basically, quarterback got the snap, bumped the ball a little bit, and then as soon as he was about to hand it off, he fumbled it and then just fell to the ground. And I was right there in front of him, and it was right in the end zone.
Back to the first quarter for a second, they scored on the second play as the players. You guys are going to the sideline. What was the mood? What were the guys saying after being pushing out so fast?
Just getting our offense ready, getting the O-line ready, getting running backs ready, because we know it's going to be a dogfight.
We just told the player that got beat, we just said, just keep your head up because they're going to try you again. And luckily, he stepped up and won defensive.
Mateo, you had a big interception there. They'd already scored early.
Sure.
Came out and knocked your socks off that first drive. They're driving again on the next possession, and you stepped in front of the ball. And so
Sure.
what did you see on that play, and how big was that in the scheme of things?
We were in zone coverage, so I was just playing my zone, and next thing you know, the ball overthrown, and I saw the advantage. I took advantage of it.
Because we talked earlier about certain situations where he's your quarterback, but you want to put him in on defense. I think that first possession, the you immediately think we got to get him in and kind of keep number 6 on the wraps.
Well, it's one of those things as a coach. We know Mateo is athletic. He's fast. I think when we moved him to offense and put Peacock in to replace him, Peacock has gotten better throughout the season. And he wants to be out there in those situations. And he's a junior. Mateo is a senior who's been battle tested. He started all year at corner last year. So I think my defensive coordinator had a little more confidence in Mateo in those third down and long situations. But I will say, I don't know if you guys remember, they went after Peacock on a little slant and he was over the top of it. So I think we would have been okay either way. On the run, Mateo is a little bit stronger. He can come up and give us a little more strong run fit, especially in the short yardage. And again, he was in there on that last play, and I think that kind of helped.
Coach, what does it say about Mateo as a leader and as a player that he has that huge pick that turns the tide, keeps you from falling behind 14-0 early? But he doesn't put up the gaudy numbers offensively this game like you guys had been on the teams previously. What does it say about him as a leader and a player that he's able to impact the game in other ways even when the offense isn't clicking against a strong defense like theirs?
Well, I'll be the first to say, and Mateo back me up with this, and he'll say it. We're very open with being honest with each other. He did not play that well offensively, but like you said, the impact on the game was great. And Mateo know what type of player, what type of athlete he is, and he never got frustrated. When he makes a bad throw or the offense don't drive down and score, he's anxious to get back on defense. So he wants to make up for some of those mistakes or opportunities that he don't connect on offense.
4 years, you guys without loss, 2 JV years and 2 varsity years. You look back on your career. How does it feel to say we went throughout the entire high school career and nobody beat us?
It's unbelievable. It's a dream come true, honestly.
It's unheard of, man. We just thankful, and hopefully they just continue the legacy.
Coach, did you notice with the quarterback in the second half, like he was getting a little tight? He was having some trouble making the completions and things. And they really started going to the run, which didn't really work too much. Did you kind of maybe sense they were confident in the quarterback at that time?
Well, what I will say, and I played the quarterback position when I was in high school, and if you look at our front line, there was a couple plays in the second quarter that they broke through and had some good hits on the quarterback. That stays in your mind a little bit, and that quarterback is very good, but I don't care who you are, if you're getting hit by 280 and 340 pounds, you're going to think about that when you're back there. And I don't know if that was the case, but I think that helped us when we got back there in the backfield and put pressure on them. And maybe they thought we was getting upfield a little bit and wanted to get underneath the run, but take my hats off to the defensive line because those guys are incredible. Without that defensive line, the defense on the back end is not that good. Those 3 young men, and including Tag Bullock, has been great for our program.
For you guys, when first half Isaiah blows up the play in the backfield, and then Jadakiss gets a sack right before the half, can you sense a kind of turn in the tide for the other team?
Yes, sir. We just knew it was time. We stepped up, man.
Yeah. Going back to the beginning of the game, we knew they were going to come out aggressive, and just told us, keep hitting, keep pounding, they're going to give up. Like you said, that quarterback gave in. He was getting frustrated, fussing at the teammates. We just stayed humble and just kept doing what we were doing.
Devin, if someone walks up to you this summer or years down the road and says, how are you guys able to win 45 straight games? How would you begin to describe the quality of how you were able to do it?
Just hard work, dedication, and staying humble.
And Coach Chance Smith made some big plays for you tonight and won defensive MVP. What can you say about his play tonight and just what he's meant for your team this season?
Well, not only Chance, and I'll come back and answer that about Chance, but we've had guys that was on our team that contributed. Trayvon, number 6. I mean, his name wasn't called a lot tonight. He didn't make a lot of big plays, but he had a big impact on that program. We had a couple guys on offense, Keishman Rogers, throughout the year, helped this program. But with Chance been battling injuries all year. And Chance has a lot of confidence in the playoff. He was able to come back. And the thing about Chance, he kept telling me, Coach, I can run a 4.3, I can run a 4.4. So he has that confidence mentally, and that helped him. And I think also when he got beat on that first touchdown, it kind of made him upset. And he felt like, I can't let that happen to me again. And I mean, on that one, I think it was play action pass where the quarterback rolled out. I mean, the way he took off, put his foot in the ground, and when he got that sack, I mean, that tells you a little bit about his talent. So Chance, he's brought a lot to the secondary because that was the area that everybody knew that we was going to be a little weak based on the experience. But I tell you what, in the playoff, these guys in the secondary stepped up.
But what did Bryce say to the team before the game?
Well, basically, Bryce talked about being in the moment. Don't let playing for a championship and all the other bells and whistles just strike you. You get one chance at the game. He reminded the guys that he never won a championship, and his opportunity was gone, and to take advantage of theirs. And he talked to the seniors about, man, once it's over, it's over. So take one play at a time. Don't do your job. He talked about the 111. I think if you follow Stanford football, they talk about the 111. He said, do your 111. But yeah, he gave us a great message.
Coach, this is the third straight year you've been in this position. Obviously, you haven't really had the time to let this sink in or reflect on it yet. But when you look back on this championship months, years down the road, what do you think will be about this team that makes them unique from the other two that won the title?
I think everybody is going to say this team wasn't as talented. But I think with all of our teams, you know, since the staff been together and going back to even Coach Smith, it is a team, and we play that team concept, and we try to put guys in the right spots, and we try to have a good, solid off-season program, and we do take it 1 week at a time, and we try not to look down the road. But these guys learn from the past, put the work in, and like I said, they bought into our philosophy as a coaching staff.
Time for one more question. We got to get Coach back.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Congrats.